Groundhog's Day, which means in the belly in Scotch Gaelic language. And that's when the new spring begins to kick and stir in the womb of Mother Earth. And of course, all the num-nums out there say, Groundhog's Day, yeah, the little furry critter comes out and looks for his shadow. You know? He's stirring in the earth. So they want to get everybody involved in this thing. Somehow. The Catholics call it Candlemas. The witches call it Imalk. It's spelled I-M-B-O-L-G, pronounced Imalk. And everybody else calls it Groundhog's Day. Okay? But anyway, December 25th, birthday of the sun god. This is a Yule log raging. This happens to be a picture of the fire pit at the White House in Washington. And every December 24th, at night, as the clock moves closer and closer to midnight, they have a raging fire in the pit. Now think about that. A raging fire, and they put on the Yule log. Is it a ritual? The log representing, see, Yule, the wheel of the year, the 8 spokes, the 8 Sabbats forming a wheel, is where the end meets the beginning. That's why it's called Yule, where the end meets the beginning. And if you look real close, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, there are 2 very strange, beady-looking little eyes right here. There is a nose here and a gaping mouth right here. There's a face in this log. And it's actually just the way the log is split. Then there are 3 perfect arrows with perfect arrowheads. Here, here, and here. Now, I think this is rather remarkable, but this is a witchcraft ritual performed in our White House every December 24th. Yule, the wheel of the year. Jeremiah 52 had this to say in 28 to 31. This is the people whom Nebuchadnezzar carried away captive in the 7th year. Remember when they came in and carried them off into Babylon? All right, in the 7th year, 3,000 Jews and 3 and 20. In the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar, he carried away captive from Jerusalem 832 persons. In the 3 and 20th year of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive of the Jews 745 persons. All the persons were 4,600. Now watch this. They were captive, and the king was in jail. The king of Judah was in jail. You got that? And it came to pass in the 37th year of the captivity of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, he was in jail, in the, notice, 12th month, in the 25th day of the month. 25th day of the 12th month. Okay? That evil Merodach, there's a nice name, huh? Evil Merodach, king of Babylon, in the 1st year of his reign, lifted up the head of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, meaning that his head was down, he was downtrodden, he was lifted up, and brought him forth out of prison, and spake kindly unto him, and set his throne above the throne of the kings that were with him in Babylon, and changed his prison garments, and he did continually eat bread before him all the days of his life. And for his diet there was a continual diet given him of the king of Babylon, every day a portion until the day of his death, all the days of his life. Starting on the 25th day of the 12th month, everything changed. This man sold out and compromised and became a part of the Babylonian system, and from then on his diet was that of Babylon. Is that just a coincidence that it tells us it's the 12th month, 25th day? When he locked arms with evil Merodach? And see, Babylon is still with us today in spirit. This is Old Father Time. That's an original version of Santa Claus, really. And of course, originally Christmas was celebrated over 12 nights, the 12 days of Christmas. Remember that? There is even a song like that. Mitch Miller and his orchestra, you know. But anyway, a lot of people have sung that. But it was originally 12 days, starting December 25th and going through the 6th of January. But on the 1st that was, of course, New Year's. Of course, there's Old Father Time, an image of him. And the old year and the new year conferring on what they're going to do. And away they go. But originally, Santa Claus was known as Father Time, Father Christmas. And in Europe, he was perceived as being somebody who could hurt you. See, over here, he's the jolly fat man that gives out presents. In Europe, little children grew up thinking, you know, he could come by and give me a good slap. Or an Ohrfeige, if you were German. You know what Ohrfeige means? Literally translated as ear fig. A fig was considered something that, you know, like a fist. And an Ohrfeige is when they boxed your ears. You know? And Santa Claus, they were scared to death of him, and they'd hide from him because they were afraid if he'd show up, they might get a good swat or a Ohrfeige or something. The Dutch called him Sinterklaas. Germans called him Der Weihnachtsmann, the Christmas man. Father Christmas, Father Time, they're all afraid of him. All right? He was also, this is another form of Santa Claus, believe it or not. King of the elves. That's why his little elves helping him in his workshop, making all these things. He was the king of the elves, the Earl King, or as the Germans called him, Erlenkönig. The word in German for king is König. Queen is Königin. But the Erlkönig, the Earl King. And Goethe, the German poet, wrote a poem about Santa Claus called Erlkönig. For those that speak German, it isn't very long. I'll just go through it real briefly and see if anybody know even a word of German, any little bit? Oh, we got to teach you German. And this is the critter right here, the Earl King, King of the Elves. Wer reitet so spät durch Nacht und Wind? Es ist der Vater mit seinem Kind. Hat den Knabe wohl in dem Arm, fasst ihn sicher, hält ihn warm. Mein Sohn, was bürgst du so lang dein Gesicht? Siehst, Vater, du den Erlkönig nicht, den Erlenkönig mit Kron und Schweif? Mein Sohn, es ist ein Nebelstreif. Du liebes Kind, komm, geh mit mir, gar schöne Spiele spiele ich mit dir. Manch bunte Blumen sind an dem Strand, meine Mutter hat mein Gilden gewarnt. Mein Vater, hörst du nicht, was Erlkönig mir leise verspricht? Sei ruhig, bleib ruhig, mein Kind, in deren Wettern säuselt der Wind. Willst, feiner Knabe, du mit mir gehen? Meine Töchter sollen dich warten schön. Meine Töchter führen die Necklickereien und wiegen und tanzen und singen dich ein. Mein Vater, und siehst du nicht dort Erlkönigs Töchter am distern Ort? Mein Sohn, ich sehe es genau, es scheinen die alten Weiden so grau. Ich liebe dich, mich reiset deine schöne Gestalt. Und bist du nicht willig, so brauch ich Gewalt. Mein Vater, jetzt fass mich an, Erlkönig hat mir ein Leids getan. Der Vater grauset und reitet geschwind. Hält in die Armen das ächzende Kind. Erreichte den Hof mit Mühe und Not. In seinem Armen das Kind war tot. Now what that means is, who is this riding through the wind so late at night? It's the father with his son. And then the Earl King starts to talk. Now I'm doing this for a reason. The Earl King starts to talk to him, enticing him to come to his kingdom. And he'll be entertained with all kinds of goodies and wonderful things. Christmas cheer, right? You get down to this verse where the Earl King, a male, Santa Claus, says, Ich liebe dich, mich reiset deine schöne Gestalt. I love you. I'm intrigued with your beautiful shape. He's a queer. Santa Claus, traditionally, was a queer. He goes on and says, Und bist du nicht willig, so brauch ich Gewalt. If you're not willing, I'll take you. And then, of course, the child cries out, Mein Vater, jetzt fass mich an, hold me tight. Erlkönig hat mir ein Leids getan. The Earl King, Santa Claus, is going to hurt me.